Tom is a regular guy. He lives in the middle of New York City, surrounded by tall buildings and busy streets. Tom drives a taxi, not a fancy job, but he likes it. It allows him to meet new people every day and explore the city he calls home. Tom's day starts early. As soon as the first rays of sunlight peek into his small apartment, he's up and ready to go. There's no particular taxi he owns. He works for a big taxi company that assigns him a different car each day. But Tom has a routine. He arrives at work an hour early every day, eager to pick his taxi and ensure it's clean and ready for his passengers. His dedication to his work is commendable. He knows that a clean and tidy car makes his passengers comfortable. So even though the company has cleaners, Tom prefers to take care of his car for the day. He spends a good part of his early morning wiping the seats, cleaning the windows, and making sure his taxi is in top shape. After all his duties are done and he's satisfied with the state of his taxi, he starts his day on the streets of New York. He loves every minute of it, driving through the city, watching people rush by, and listening to the sounds of the bustling city. There's an energy that keeps him going, an energy that only New York can offer. But Tom's life isn't just about driving taxis. He carries a secret he cherishes. Tom is in love, but not with someone he knows or someone he has spoken to. He is in love with a beautiful woman named Emma Parker, whose painting hangs in the city's art gallery. Emma's portrait is a piece of art that took Tom's breath away the moment he saw it. He doesn't know much about her except that she lived a long time ago, in the early 1900s. Emma's image has been immortalized in oil and canvas, her piercing eyes seeming to look right at Tom every time he visits the gallery. After his shift ends each day, Tom makes a beeline for the city's art gallery. He stands before Emma's painting, losing himself in her beauty, dreaming of a life that could have been. It may seem strange to some, but for Tom, it's his little piece of happiness in this big, busy city. The painting of Emma Parker shows her dressed in an elegant white gown adorned with stunning jewels. Tom has memorized every detail, every brushstroke. He even bought a catalog from the gallery that included a smaller version of Emma's painting. He keeps this catalog by his bedside, a reminder of his unusual yet heartfelt affection. One morning, as Tom started his routine cleaning of the taxi, he found something unusual. There, under the back seat, glinted a beautiful earring. Tom picked it up, and to his surprise, it looked familiar. It looked exactly like the one Emma Parker was wearing in her painting. Puzzled, he checked the earring again. Could it really be the same one? It couldn't be, he thought. But the earring was an exact match to the one in the painting, from the shape and size to the emerald and diamond embellishments. Tom was stunned. He didn't know what to do, so he decided to keep it safe in his pocket for now. After his work was over, Tom went back to his apartment, his mind filled with thoughts about the mysterious earring. He sat down at his tiny kitchen table, pulled out the earring, and studied it under the dim light. His heart pounded as he looked at it, turning it over and over in his hands. Could it really be a piece of the past? A tangible link to the woman in the painting? Tom was caught in a whirl of emotions. He wanted to believe that it was truly Emma's earring, but logic told him it was impossible. He decided to investigate further and took the earring to the art gallery the next day. The gallery's curator was equally stunned upon seeing the earring. It was indeed an exact match to the one in Emma Parker's painting. But the curator explained it was impossible for the earring to be authentic because Emma's jewelry was documented to have been stolen a century ago and never recovered. The idea that the earring found its way into Tom's taxi seemed far-fetched. Yet, the resemblance was uncanny. Undeterred, Tom decided to dig deeper. He visited libraries and researched online, delving into the history of Emma Parker. He learned about her life, her likes and dislikes, and most importantly, the infamous burglary of her precious jewels. But he couldn't find any lead that could link the earring back to Emma. Weeks turned into months, and Tom's investigation seemed to be leading him nowhere. He was disheartened, but couldn't shake off the feeling that he was onto something big. He decided to make one final attempt. He hired a private investigator to look into the matter. The private investigator was initially skeptical, but upon seeing the earring and its resemblance to the one in the painting, he agreed to take up the case. Days turned into weeks, and finally, after a month of extensive investigation, he brought news that made Tom's heart leap with joy. Tom was overjoyed. The connection to Emma, which seemed far-fetched at first, turned out to be real. He went to the art gallery, earring in hand, and told the curator the story. The curator, after confirming the truth, was left speechless. He decided to hold an exhibition to display the recovered earring alongside Emma's painting. News spread quickly, and soon the gallery was filled with curious onlookers and news reporters. Tom, the humble taxi driver, found himself in the limelight, his extraordinary story capturing the hearts of everyone. And as for the earring, it was put on display next to Emma's painting, finally back where it belonged. Tom continued to drive his taxi, but he was no longer just an ordinary taxi driver. He was the man who had solved a century-old mystery, the man who had found a piece of history. His bond with Emma Parker felt stronger than ever, and every day, after his shift, he would visit the gallery, standing before the painting and the earring, lost in a love story that spanned across time. Through all of this, Tom realized that life wasn't as ordinary as he thought. Even a regular guy like him could stumble upon an extraordinary adventure, and that's exactly what makes life so unpredictable and beautiful.